YouTube, what's new? Well, what's new for me is it's Christmas Eve, and I didn't want to make this video, so that's a thing. For those who don't know who I am, or this is your first time seeing a video of mine, I'm Lauren, and I am broadcasting retaking the bar exam to the world, because I don't think it's talked about enough, so yeah. But back to what's new. I don't want to make this video, as I said, and it's not because it's Christmas Eve, though that is part of it, but I was not planning on making this video. I don't want to because I'm scared, because part of it is me admitting something that's really hard for me to admit, and that's that I was falsely optimistic. So I'm going to get into that later, because I'm going to talk about two things before I get into that. And the two things are two critiques for Barbri. The first critique I have is they have this thing called the essay architect, which is supposed to help you learn how to write an essay. It is clunky. It is so confusing and hard to work that it doesn't actually make me learn anything, because I don't see how it improves my writing at all. And unlike with the lectures where you can rate and comment the lectures, you can't do that with this. They just say it's gonna work. It's not working. It doesn't help, because there's just so many parts to it and so many things that you have to like plug into different places, and it's just not helpful. I learned more going to the class that my school set up through Barbri to help you learn how to write essays. I learned more doing that class, which is essentially one of their lectures that they already have on how to write a bar exam essay, a Texas essay, than I did doing this whole little architect thing. And they have like two others, and I just find them so pointless, because they just want you to do all these things in a way, and the window they have is like super tiny, and I have like a 15-inch laptop. Like, there's not enough room in the window they give you to do everything they expect you to be able to do, and it's just clunky and pointless, and I find it completely irrelevant to everything. The second little critique I have is, if you're for Barbri, when you retake the Barbri course, you just retake it. You don't get to input what you need to work on. You don't get to input what your scores were, so they can tailor the classes and everything towards what you struggled with. So, and this goes into like why I didn't want to make the video, but I'm going to do a little bit of a caveat before I get really into that. But they ask questions, basically, which is like some are like just basic law questions, and then some are like actual bar questions. And so the way they do this is through these knowledge checks, which are great. I love getting just questions about the black letter law. I actually wish there were more of those. But yeah, so they have these knowledge checks, and half of it is these black letter law questions, and the other half, they take bar questions and like split them up into sections, and then they ask you those questions. However, after you get through the black letter law questions, you are not told how many questions left you have. So you're given the black letter law questions, and you're told how many questions of those you have. And then you get to these other questions that you know nothing about. You don't know what sections of law they're going to question on, though. You can assume, since it's right after you did a lecture, it's going to be over all the sections. But they don't tell you how many questions are going to be in each of those sections. So I did one that had like 6 sections to it, something like that. And in those 6 sections, some had 3 questions, some had 4. I've done one in my last taking of the bar exam the first time. There was one that had like 6 of these questions, and I didn't like it because I could not see myself progressing, and they give you a time estimate, but if I can't see myself progressing, I can't tell if I'm on track for time, and I don't like that, and I wish they would change it. I wish, if they're not going to tell you how many questions are going to be in each of these specific like segments of the law, at least tell me how many more segments I have, instead of just me finishing a section and then another section pops up and I never know when these sections are going to end, because it makes it seem so long and monotonous. So that actually leads into the reason this video is being made, and the reason why I don't want to make this video. I don't see myself improving. I did some questions and I didn't really improve from the last time I took it. Granted, I can't tell if I actually improved or not, because Barbri doesn't compare your answers from the last time you took it to this time. There's no way to compare unless you took screenshots, which, who would do that? So that was really frustrating, but I know I'm not doing any better, and I feel really bad. I cried about it for like 20 minutes, because you would think with the way that I felt like I was improving, that would show up, but it's not. And I feel very stupid. And it's not a fun feeling to feel stupid. I felt stupid all throughout law school. And when I'm finally feeling good about myself, studying and taking in all this information and doing things to help me make sure that I retain the information, to answer these questions and realize that even if I have my notes in front of me and I'm answering the questions from the notes I just took, to still do bad, it makes me feel so hopeless that I'm going to be able to pass. And I don't know what to do. In the very first video, second video, an earlier video through, it's on the playlist somewhere, but in an earlier video I mentioned getting a tutor, and I did reach out to the academic dean, not the dean, but the person in charge of the academic side of things, to make sure that you're succeeding academically from my law school. I reached out to them and asked if they knew any tutors, because I don't think I'm going to be able to do this with just Barbri, especially since I feel like I'm not improving, and seeing those results, I don't think I'm improving. And what makes it worse is I can't tell, because Barbri doesn't give me that information. It doesn't retain the information that I've already put in from my prior bar taking experience. I like that they offer the class for free, but I do wish they had a tailored program for people who didn't pass, so you could see what you did last time, what you did this time, so you could see the changes instead of it just being the same thing over again. Because the fact that I can't even see and I just feel like it's the same or worse than the first time I took it, even though I'm like not copying from my notes, but I'm reading my notes as I'm answering these questions and I'm still not doing well. It takes all motivation I have to study and just kind of like flushes it all down the toilet, which you don't want. You don't want to be discouraged when you're studying for the bars, and you want to keep on going. And the first time you take it, it's fine because you're like, oh, you'll always improve. But this is my second time, and being told, oh, I'm going to improve. Well, I haven't from the first time I took it, so why am I not improving now? And I can't blame it all on Barbri. I feel like part of it's my fault, but I don't want to say it's my fault because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm studying, I'm reading the outlines, I'm going over the lecture notes. I have flashcards that I go over. I don't know what else I can do to do better on these questions. And it's so defeating to know that I'm not doing as well as I want to be doing, and I'm not doing as well as I thought I was doing. And it makes it really hard for me to continue on studying. It makes it really hard for me to think that this is what I'm supposed to be doing when I don't see any improvement. And I'm gonna continue studying because that's the thing about me, is I don't give up. Like, I tried out for drill team in high school for 3 years in a row until I finally made it. So I'm not gonna give up, but it is not fun feeling so defeated and like there's no way to actually see my improvement, and there's no way to feel that I am improving and that I'm just plateauing, and that can't be good. Because the thing is, the reason why these questions are so important is the MBE portion of the exam is one of the biggest portions of the Texas bar exam. So you kind of have to do well on it, because if you do well on that and you do well on the essays, which I did pretty well on the essays, if you do well on those two things, you're kind of set. But if you don't do well on the MBE portion, the multi-state bar exam portion, the multiple choice portion, you're kind of screwed, because you only have the P&E from the first day, which is the procedure and evidence. There's 2 procedure and evidence questions, and something else is on the first day too, because something else is on the first day. I don't remember what it is, but you have your Texas essays the last day. And if you don't do well on the MBE, you're kind of screwed, because your scores in these other 2 areas are not going to be high enough to get you to pass the bar exam. And that's why I'm freaking out. And admitting that I'm not doing better, even though I thought I was doing everything right, I feel like I'm doing everything right, is really hard, and it's so frustrating. And I don't have a positive message out of this, because I'm just frustrated that I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm not improving, and I don't like that I can't even if I was improving, I don't like that I can't even see it, because barbri doesn't offer that option. So yeah, that's where I am. This video isn't a positive Christmas video. I'm sorry. I'm just not in the mood for that. Maybe in the next video I upload, I'll tell about how my Christmas holidays were. But this video is just me being real with you. Because I feel like it has to be done at some point. Somebody has to be real about the bar exam, and that it's hard, and especially when you're retaking it, when you're just kind of lost. I feel like nobody talks about this kind of stuff in the legal, not just in law school and post-law school, but in like the legal community in general. When you feel lost, nobody really talks about it. And I think that's really sad, that we have to put on these faces all the time that we have it all together when really we don't. So, sorry that this video is kind of ending on a downer, and that I'm not feeling great about my studying. I'm taking the rest of Christmas Eve off, and I'm taking Christmas Day off, and then I'll start again afterwards. But yeah, I'm not feeling great about where I am, and I don't really know where to go from here, aside from hope that the person I emailed from my law school will get back to me soon, because right now I'm terrified to answer any more questions on barbri and answer any more of the MBE questions, because I'm terrified of seeing my score just either get lower or stay the same. And that's not a feeling that you want to have. So yeah, that's where I am. That's what's new with me. I know it's kind of sad, but that's reality. Anyways, if you liked this video, like it, please. If you want to see more of this, if you want to see more of my journey, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll get notified when I put out new videos. I also have a playlist for all my bar prep stuff. And I will link the very first video I made, which is my I failed the bar exam video. I will link that in the description. But yeah, comment if you have any questions or concerns, or just comments, words of encouragement. I could really use that right now. I only have my family really encouraging me, because I don't think any of my law school friends or any of my friends in general know I'm having to retake the bar exam, because like I said, I'm still terrified to actually share this journey with people that I went to law school with, because most of the people I know passed it. There are people that I worked with in law school that didn't pass it the first time, but that's a very different thing than your direct peers. So yeah, comment down below if you have any comments or suggestions for me to suggestions to help me study and to help me like get these things stuck in my brain so I don't do bad. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Bye.